And we're back again. Grappling Dads. Paulie here.
Francisco
over there.
over here. Special guest host.
Oh boy,
No.
here we go.
You don't like it?
So it begins.
I'm Kip. I'm here.
Kipperdoodles.
I'm here.
Get it right.
Very important.
Yeah. Really, you're broke again, so you can't even train. That's a bummer.
Fuck me.
Yeah, you just can't win, can you?
No, I was doing good.
You were doing good. You're like, hey, it's getting better and better, and then
Yeah. Sadly, really wasn't a jiu-jitsu.
you're more dusty than me.
Yeah.
That's what it's come to.
Fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting fatter.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. And uglier. Don't forget
Yeah.
that.
No, I was ugly enough. Fatter.
You were ugly enough. It's just
Yeah.
getting worse.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's
bad.
terrible.
It's a low bar.
It's a very, very low bar. Hey, on the positive side, we have a Kroyler pro tip.
About time,
I didn't
bitch.
have to steal it off the interwebs on bjjee.com or so deep into the archives.
Fucking, it was a fun episode, but damn, that's a bad website.
I got this of BJJEE. Like, what?
What? Come again?
It's from January 2012.
This website is no longer up.
Yeah, it looked fine. It was great. So, yeah, I had a question for Kroyler a while ago because he's got a student that wants to be a world champion. And that's, yep, and that's what he's going for.
What's his name?
I don't know if he wants to let everybody know his business or not.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe I'll mention it
Call
next
Fred.
show. Fred.
Fred's a fucking badass.
So I actually don't know if it's like just a close knit thing. I really don't know. I'd love to call him out. I really would.
I'm so glad I put you on the spot, though.
Like, God. Anyway, he's got a gentleman.
Like if you said his first name, don't say it, but I'm saying most of our listeners don't know.
Francisco. I like it. Anyway, his goal is to be a world champion someday. So that's kind of where they're leading the training to go down that path.
Awesome.
And he just did a competition, and he did very, very well. And what I didn't know was that they were working on new stuff in the competition.
Oh, cool.
Which confused me because I'm like, don't you want to do your A game in competition? And so it kind of went on a back and forth of you train in like the smaller competitions differently than if it was a bigger competition. So if you're doing like IBJJF or ADCC or whatever, yeah, you're doing your A game and you're trying to win.
Okay.
But if you're doing some of the local tournaments, try new stuff on new people to see how it works and, add it
so
into
it's
games.
not the people you're training with. That makes sense.
So that you can kind of pressure test it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter that much. Of course you'd want gold, but not the end of the world. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was interesting, which led down the conversation of, do you fight like you train? And I asked that, like, if you want to train like a world champion.
You mean slapping people? Because that's how I...
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's how I fight and that's how I train.
Why wouldn't you? This is jiu-jitsu. Like, if you're not throwing strikes, what are you really doing?
It's not real jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly. We're just patty caking here. I get that. That's not lost on me. But my other point was, for self-defense or for world championship or whatever, if you're keeping it playful, as Huron and Henner like to call it, are you going to just be like that? Like, is that going to make you really good at self-defense, like if you hit the fan, or really good at competition if you're always just kind of like flow rolling, 50%, situational, like not really getting after it?
Pressure. You're not pressure testing it, as you said.
Right. So, so I think that the common belief system is you fight like you train.
Oh, no wonder I'm so terrible at both.
Oh, right. Well, that would make a lot of sense. So I wanted his opinion because I know he has a lot different views than the average jiu-jitsu school, I would say, on how you train anybody. But I was focusing in if you want to be a really good competitor or if you really want the self-defense aspect to work on the street. That was my idea anyway. But before we get into it,
I'm just going to... What?
It's your job. Do your job.
Do I do things?
Yes.
What am I, the ad bitch here?
Yeah. Yeah. That's yes.
The ad bitch. Actually, I want to start this a little bit differently because I wanted to explain a little bit more how Gameness became our newest sponsor. Because I don't want everyone thinking, hey, look, Paul and Kip got money. They're now selling something. Because it's not actually.
That's really funny.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. on that same thread, we're doing quite well as far as listeners go.
Yes.
But we're not doing quite well as far as, hey, I get to quit my job because we're so successful.
No, not at all.
But I have people that think that.
Yeah, I know. You're like, you're doing kick ass. Got a lot of people listening. It's like, yeah, slow your roll. Sadly, no.
Mostly this is just fun.
It's getting a little bit more than that. But
True.
Anyway, so Gameness wasn't just out of the blue, hey, I'm going to throw money at these people to do this. Gameness has never sponsored a podcast. They hadn't really thought about it till one of our listeners happens to be in marketing there. And he thought it would be a great idea to try it out.
It was a happy accident, you're saying?
Yes. And it comes from one of our fellow listeners.
I think that was really cool.
That's why I thought it was really cool. And it helped even more when we got their gis. I'm like, these are amazing.
Yeah, they're really nice. I'm a fan.
Amazing. And I had a fit problem. Obviously, that's not Gameness's problem. More Kip doesn't know what size he is problem.
Yeah, we were mocking you behind your back on the Flick Chat app. I think.
God, dude,
we're like, maybe if Kip ate a couple more Twinkies or did a few push-ups and just put creatine on every meal, he'd be all set.
Use it as the only additive for everything.
Use creatine as salt, and we'll be good.
Good. But yeah, I literally the gis are amazing. We both have found our favorite in the Air Pro.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I like the Featherlight too. It feels a little more robust, for lack of a better term that came into my head. But I like it. I like the collars on that a little bit for grabbing. So they're nice. You guys got to try them out. Check out their website. They got a lot of cool stuff on there. So it's gameness.com, GD10 at checkout.
Hey, you remembered this time.
Yeah, I did.
Look at you go.
And I would like to mention that Justin is our connection there. There's also a Chris. He's important there.
He's kind of a big deal.
He's kind of a big deal.
Much like you.
Yeah. No, he's actually a big deal.
He's actually
I am not.
Actually a big deal. We just play one on YouTube sometimes. Yeah. Not even TV.
No one watches that shit.
No, it's fine.
Jerks.
You could just subscribe for funsies.
Yeah.
That'd mean a lot to us.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Yeah. But hold on, we'll get back to that. But Gameness is great. Justin is the guy that we know, and he's a listener of the show. And I had the fit problem. Boom, he's on top of it. Annoying, I was annoying to him because I wasn't answering fast enough, and he's like, really, tell me what size you want to do.
Do it now.
Yeah, and I did. He got it out to me, and they fit perfect. I'm just a smaller guy in Gameness skis, so awesome. So now I have 2 of the Air Pros. Paul only has 1. But they're super thin, but they feel perfect. But yeah, definitely check them out. Because we do. We love them. Yep. Quick love. Now
love,
to
heart. Look.
Yes. We're wearing shirts. But
they do custom stuff too. So
they do a lot of custom stuff because they do it all in the United States. Yep. Texas, Oklahoma area, I do believe.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. So they're U.S. support. Oh yeah, they do sell in the UK.
Oh, hey, everybody's happy now.
Yeah, I know.
What about Australia though? Justin.
They're too fucking far away.
Justin. Get on it, bro.
Actually, Lauren, go check.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Or Sarah.
This is
whatever.
Simple.
There's a few of you down there. There's actually a lot down there. But I don't know their names. Oh, I probably should too.
Yeah,
one just moved back too. Adam? Oh, dude, there's too many. Get on FlickChat. Yell at me later. And then we have our apparel company, which is Top Mount Apparel. Check them out, topmountapparel.com. GD10 at checkout also.
Keeping it simple.
Just keeping it simple, people. Justin hooked us up by making it the same thing as Top Mounts. Check them out on Instagram. Give them a follow on there. Check out the Regardless movement. Yeah, very awesome people. Love Al and the cronies. That's what I'm going to call them from now on.
The cronies?
Yeah, until they come and knock me out again, I'm going to call them the cronies.
I like it.
Yeah, half of them are cops. Probably get arrested when I go to Illinois again.
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. Why'd you tease me? But yeah, definitely check them out. We love them. The Regardless movement's pretty cool. One of our listeners posted his Regardless about he's EMT.
Yep.
And very cool, Matt. He's a little bit of a bitch, but other than that, good guy. He trains with us. So I can say these types of things.
I will wrist lock you regardless. I'm just saying,
yeah.
Matt.
Boom, done. You have wrist. I will lock the shit out of him. And then we have Tap Tape, who's still out of the country, I do believe. But definitely check it out. Not sure if it's available on Amazon right now, but if it is, get it. If not,
sorry.
Wait a minute.
Follow the Tap Tape.
Yeah, follow the Tap Tape.
Yell at him.
Yeah. His name's Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Get him.
Yeah.
Mike,
love the dads.
and you keep doing this to us. I'm going to start giving out your address.
Ooh, I like it.
I don't have it, but...
Oh, we'll find it.
Yeah, I think we can find it. It'll be fun. But definitely check it out. Leave a review. Much appreciated. Where do we train again?
The Black Lion.
Oh, yeah, Black Lion. I was going to go with Black Ape. Yeah, I was wrong.
White Monkey. Go.
Magenta Unicorn. Let's do this.
Dusty Rose Puppy. Like it.
Oh, it's fun. Anyways, Grand Rapids, Michigan, that's where we train. That's where our kids train. Come check it out. You can beat up a grappling dad. Chad Pomeroy is the head coach. Jesse is kind of important to Paul. He posted about him. And then there's some others. Justin's not that important. He's too pretty. He can do his own advertising. Then we're
going to throw hate towards him because of his prettiness. Like, it just...
Every damn time.
Yeah,
fucking Adonis-looking son of a bitch.
We're not jealous.
No, not at all.
No,
Fuck
we're fine.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Hate
this is
you.
fine.
Man, he's pretty. We're back to our really long sponsors right now.
Wrap it up.
I have to fix this. Kroyler Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Check them out. Just put Kroy and you'll find them.
Yep.
And once again, find the faraway picture and you get a prize. Probably a banana. Who knows?
Get a private lesson. Have him for a seminar.
Stop on by.
Stop on by.
Yeah, he's
Join
amazing,
his class.
guys.
Yeah. If you're in the middle of nowhere, you'll find him.
Yeah. He's amazing. He's going to be out east too. I think early November.
November, yep.
And I was going to go with him, but then I realized I had to buy a car. So I put a dent in the pocketbook. Yeah.
I'm trying not to get laid off. GM is screwing up my lifestyle right now.
Dude, you're going to have so much free time.
I do have so much free time the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Might get worse. We'll see. Hopefully not.
We'll cuddle. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I'll find another hobby. I'll do more jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, cuddling.
Fine. I'm not finding another hobby. This just, no. More jiu-jitsu. Done.
Your wife won't let you do that.
Yes, you will.
I love how you thought through.
I was going to say,
yes, I
I'm
can.
like, no, she can only take so much of me. She's like, get out.
Yeah,
just
that's probably true.
Go
Probably
train.
True.
Go train a new air progi.
But I'm looking forward to this. Trial your air pro. It's fine. Oh, wait, it's dirty because Kip has 2 of them.
True. All right, so ready for the pro tip? Get this party started?
I mean, I guess.
All right, let's do it. All right,
Are we doing the emails later?
Yeah, at the end.
The pat on the back
we got a couple of nice emails. I was going to reply to the emails and decided I'll do it on the show because I'm lazy.
I was just gonna say because we're lazy as shit. Because I did the same thing. I'm like,
well, here's the thing. So,
when they come through the website, it's not just one step.
Yeah,
which is annoying.
And
Nathan, fix it.
My job at work dictates that I can't do that now because I got moved to a different area where it's just like
constantly doing something.
There's just no time.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I texted you and you're like 2 hours later.
I'll get to it. I can feel it in my pocket.
Oh man, you're in trouble now.
Just set my phone on the table. It'll be fine. All right.
Text it till it falls off the table.
Moving on. Kroyler's pro tip. Paulie asked me to discuss the adage, you fight how you train. He asked me if it was true or not. Before you get into it, think about this throughout this pro tip. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practiced. I'm great at this. Makes perfect. Otherwise, all you do is perfectly perform your shitty practice. That should be on a shirt. It really should.
It's a long shirt.
It's a long quote, but maybe somebody should tattoo it down the ribs. Or not. Before we get into that, I wanted to tell all the listeners I am sorry for the show dropping in quality in my absence. Now, BJJEE is just as good as you, bro.
And I also want to add, you can take all you want from that, but actually we're having our best week in a while again. We're on a ramp up again.
Oh, it was our standalone thing with the
Yeah.
I forgot what the hell it was about.
Yeah, neither do I.
BJJ and time restrictions. Oh, we got some love on that too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, a lot of it actually.
Yeah,
on
we got
Flick Chat. That was crazy.
Yeah, emails, Flick Chat stuff. I got a bunch of incoming stuff about, hey, how do you fix this? Here's my issue.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap.
Well,
yeah.
we walked one. Yeah, you walked one of the guys through. I made you do it.
Yeah, you actually go, can you answer this on
Instagram?
Instagram?
He dove in balls deep.
He did. I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know how to help this.
It was awesome, though. He's like, yeah, I signed up for classes, bought a really expensive gi. I didn't tell my wife yet.
Yeah, and then she told me no. I'm like, oh.
Ooh. Sounds like something I would do.
Somebody's in a predicament.
It worked out.
It worked out. He did good.
You were helpful.
I tried. I don't know what else to say. I'm like,
well, that's never good when you go, yeah, that's all I got.
So I want to start off like what you do is you tell your wife you're working overtime, except you train instead. You hide it from her like a second life.
I don't think that's a good plan.
No, that was not my advice. I did want to throw it in there though, just like
you should have,
because it's funny. Yeah. Let's see. In my absence, it is my fault for going on a vacation and not providing them a guiding light. You know, you can write them ahead, Kroyler. I'm just gonna throw that pro tip out there. Like you can do like more than one at a time. Here's what'll happen. He's like, hey, what's the pro tip on? So I'll tell him. And then he'll tell me, didn't have time. I'm like, no worries. We got other stuff in the docket.
We always got stuff going on.
And then like 2 days later, what's the pro tip on? I'm like, we already discussed this. So I'll just I'll screenshot our
Here's
discussion.
Our conversation from a day ago.
It's this. I think all weekend long he should just dedicate pro tips to our show.
Yeah, why not?
It'd be great. It sounds like fun to me.
I mean,
good old wholesome fun.
You know, Andrew carries the show on there, so.
Thank God for Andrew. All right. Guiding light, yada, yada. Anyway, by the time this gets aired, Paul will have tested for his purple belt, and I expect that he may or may not be with us anymore. You were closer to the side of may not be.
Yeah, pretty close.
I felt the light dimming within me. It was a close thing. It was a near death experience.
As I said, you kept falling towards the wall, which was good. It's padded.
The worst part was when people went up and they were showing support and they're patting me like, good job. And I thought they were going to put me, I was going to get laid out. I really thought I'm like, please, I appreciate the love. Don't touch me.
But see, you weren't showing that much stress. Like I knew, because I know your faces.
Bro,
I was the one that called you this close to passing out. I told you to sit your fucking ass down. Sit down. Not then, before, like a year ago. Sit the fuck down. You're like, I'm fine.
I'm
like,
fine.
Sit your ass down. You sat down so hard. Poof. Oh, shit. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, it's a good thing I sat down.
See, like, now I can't get back up. See the problem here?
So I knew that you were fucked, but it didn't, like, no one knew you. Even watched the video, because the video will be coming out this week.
Ah, nice.
Because our video editor finished it.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. All right. So, Kip, I vote Jen to be a replacement for Paul. That's a good call. Her ability to read will already have bettered the show.
That's true.
Or talk in general. It's fine. Back to the...
Overall words. Good follow-up.
Oh, deep and
Way
heavy.
to prove that fucker wrong.
Deep and heavy sigh. All right. Back to the topic at hand. Let's get this going. You fight how you train. Is that true? Yes and no. That's very helpful, Kroyler. It's a very loaded saying, so let's break this down. What dictates performance? The motto would imply that performance is an identical replicate of your training. Therefore, the harder you train, the better you'll perform. But is that a true indicator of how one will perform? Maybe. Let's look into what all affects the performance of an individual. These are some of the few key aspects that dictate someone's performance. Knowledge, technique, experience, ability, physical health, mental clarity, mental fortitude, that all sounds the same, and intensity. Let's break down those key aspects one by one. I really want to know the difference between mental health, clarity, and fortitude.
Yeah, I don't care.
You better get into it. I read it, but it's been a week or two, and I forget.
Does he get into that?
I think so. He should. Otherwise, why would he write the pro tip? All right.
No, I'm talking about like the many different levels.
Oh, dude, yeah, he breaks it down for us.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah.
Good Lord.
It gets deep into the weeds.
Oh, nice.
It's a Kroyler Deep Weeds article, as it should be. Why would you expect anything less?
Yeah, I shouldn't.
Exactly. You're sitting there thinking like
A 1.1.2.
This is not jiu-jitsu times, bro. This is not BJJ.
We can tear that shit up.
All right. Let's break down those key aspects one by one. Knowledge. This means having been exposed to proper teaching and proper techniques. having been coached and trained to understand the flow of a fight and when and how to properly deal with the issues as they arise. This means having a mental war room that is fully stocked with concepts, principles, strategies, critical thinking, and approaches, and of course, techniques to address all given scenarios. A fighter should not have to make up a move or figure out what to do in a fight. They should have all bases covered. But it happens, and that is why it's important to be as prepared as possible. So that's where you kind of get into the weeds of deep versus shallow, right?
Yeah.
Where we had this argument multiple times, and I still have a hard time wrapping me head around it. Me laddie, this is great. This is the best podcast
what
ever.
What are you doing?
This is getting sequentially worse as time goes on.
Oh, you went Irish.
I don't know if I should just continue that thought or just start reading again.
Me boy, you just keep reading. I'm gonna go Jamaican with that.
Boy, we're not. Why do people listen to us, Skip? I don't understand. I'll never
There's
get
a lot
it.
of them.
I'll never get it. All right, I'm just gonna move on. B, technique. This is being able to perform the desired techniques perfectly or as close to it as possible. It is understanding the timing, flow, feel, the weaknesses, and strengths of all techniques required for optimal performance. This means understanding how to follow them up should they come up short, as well as understanding proper setups to increase success rates. This means having a connection between what your mind knows you should do and being able to do it physically and perfectly. I would never know what that's like. I don't mean having the ability to pull off the move live. That is part of the ability section that we will discuss soon. I mean literally being in control of your body enough to perfectly execute a move.
So don't shit yourself.
Yeah.
No?
Well, it's kind of like, it'd be like my triangle, right?
Yes.
Like I don't have the bodily control to do it because my meniscus flips every time
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So maybe not for me. So you have to have the control to be able to do it.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or is it literal body control?
Body control. So, like body awareness, really, right? So you get a brand new white belt, and they're flaily because they can't help it. They don't have any.
They don't have any reference point to go back to of like I'm fine. No, you're not.
So it's like if you never tightroped before and you try to walk a tightrope, you have no bodily control. You're not gonna make it.
That was actually good.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
That was a good one.
Look it. I
want to give you some confidence for the rest of the show.
I brought that all back around. Watch me fuck this up. All right. For those struggling to understand this, Kip, look at that. I mean, look at a white belt trying to do a simple armbar from mount. How they struggle deeply with moving their body in certain ways that we take for granted. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you don't, it's like watching a baby try to eat food. It's like they're putting the food in their eye, in their ear, and it's getting everywhere. They just don't have the bodily control.
Yes.
Adult version of that is watching somebody try to do a simple armbar from guard. Like, what in the hell are you doing?
This is not difficult.
Weirdly, everybody does that. Like, everybody was there.
Oh, yeah.
But like a couple years in, you look at somebody and you're like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? Not remembering that you were that guy / girl that did the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How quickly we forget those sometimes.
Well, you become such a dick with that. You don't mean to. You're like, man, he's fucking terrible. It's like, yeah, dude, think back. You were fucking terrible.
Oh, especially now that I'm a purple belt. Holy shit. I'm insufferable now. Insufferable. I was watching
what a fucking asshat.
I was watching Caleb, and it was back escapes, and I was berating him. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that. It's like nothing you're doing is right now.
Fucking prick.
Insufferable.
Oh,
I'll get over it soon, I'm sure.
I really hope so.
I think it comes with the territory.
You can
I'm going to tell myself that.
Feel free.
I can't help it. All right. For those struggling to understand, all right. Deeply with moving their body in certain ways that we take for granted. So, yeah, we take them for granted relatively quickly after we get it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it's mean. C, experience. That is having the familiarity with your knowledge and technique to properly discern when to do one technique or take one approach over another. That comes with, like you said, experience.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he on his last podcast quoted Henry Gracie, I think, or Huron, one of the brothers. The right technique at the wrong time is the wrong technique. Yeah. So even if you can do it, if you don't know which ones to pull off at certain times, it's still wrong.
Worthless.
Yeah, and you get that with the experience of rolling over and over and over again, and that just takes time. What a lot of people get hung up on is like, I go 6 days a week for 6 months. That's a lot. Not really. It sounds like it's a lot, and it is compared to the guy that goes 1 day a week. But in the grand scheme of things,
it's very
minuscule.
Minute amount of time. You
All
still
right.
suck.
Yeah. Sorry, but it's true. Given equal knowledge and technique levels in regards to, let's say, a double leg takedown and a Uchimata throw, and equal ability with them, ability will be discussed below. Which takedown should we do? Both of these are aggressive lead takedowns. Aggressive lead takedowns, meaning that one isn't more offensive or defensive than the other. This is where experience comes in understanding which technique to choose given equal opportunity and equal knowledge and equal technique and equal knowledge. That was on him, not me. This involves having the ability to judge your opponents and their ability and status, your own systems check, how tired are you, injured, etc., and making the right choice. It means knowing when a technique is going to fail versus when it's going to work. Sometimes the tightest arm bars slip out suddenly. Experience would allow you to know the difference between an arm bar that is very tight and there is no chance for slippage, and one where it is very tight but ultimately destined to fail. A great example of this is Craig Jones versus Gordon Ryan. Do you remember that shit? When Craig Jones had Gordon Ryan in that arm bar, and I thought his arm was going to break in half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
no, it wasn't there.
That was high-level shit.
Very high level, because it looked like if he extended any more, his arm, his elbow was going to come out the wrong side.
Yep, and it was the difference between a perfect technique and one really close, but not it, and a guy understanding
enough to make it
to know
to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
just a little slight error.
That was actually
crazy. That was a really good
reference. Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, look it up.
Oh, for sure, look that up.
Crazy looking, because his arm looks like there's that one that's from the ADCC of the guy's knee.
Oh, Jesus!
And he just rolled right through it. Well, Gordon Ryan's arm looks pretty fucked up when you look at it. You think it's going to be fucked up. It's not.
It's not.
No.
I'm sure he felt that for a couple of days. I don't see how he couldn't.
Because it extended it enough. But
yeah, it wasn't broke.
No, and he said he was, I think in an interview that, he knew he was going to get out of it the whole time. So it's like. Oh.
And that's one of those things where if you're competing at the highest level, so if you want to be world champion, and your food bills depend on that, you fight through it, but you have to know and have that experience like he's talking about to know when it's perfect and when it's not and how to get out of it.
Yep.
Fantastic match anyway.
Yeah, anyways.
All right, at EBA. Craig armbarred Gordon, who underestimated Craig at the time, I believe. It was incredibly tight. It was an incredibly tight armbar. However, Gordon had a little more experience in discerning an armbar that he can escape and one where he cannot than Craig did. This meant Craig, while very close to submitting, thought he had it. Gordon didn't think he did. These aren't thoughts. These guys are both high level. This was a slight mismatched experience gap. For those of you thinking this was not the case, please understand that Gordon makes his money competing. He, especially back then, where he hadn't made the money he has now, couldn't afford to gamble with a broken arm. So if it was in, he would have tapped because he couldn't afford.
He couldn't afford to miss more matches just for that one.
And now he's like, little break, I got time.
I'll just teach some shit.
Exactly. A broken arm back then, he might have crippled him financially and significantly slowed down his career. If Craig had, at that time, the same level of experience that Gordon did, he would have known that Gordon would eventually escape due to imperfections on that armbar. This meant he would have either changed his control method in the armbar to get a better finishing hold, or he would have used the armbar as a means to run the clock. As in EBI overtime, the clock is almost as deadly as the submissions. That's a good point. Yeah. So you have I'd never thought about it that way. That's actually a decent way of thinking about things. Very, very well put, I'd say.
Can't even argue with that one.
No,
I
want to. Yeah, I want to bust his balls, but that was...
Not there.
No,
Later.
damn it. Kind of sucks.
Later.
Yeah, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, D, ability. This is the connection between knowledge, knowing how to do something, and the associated principles and techniques, being able to perform a move correctly as your mind tells you to do. Meaning this is where we take our knowledge, mental competence, and associated information and apply the technique, the correct application and execution of the knowledge, live under stress. Our competence in doing that determines our ability. You could have all the knowledge in the world but zero technique, and your ability would suffer for it as your moves would be unchained, disconnected, and sloppy. It's like he's describing my game.
I know. I was going to say, is there a picture next to this of me?
Yeah. Yeah, if that was in the dictionary, my picture would be like right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even though your mind was in the right place with the right idea. Likewise, you could have very little knowledge but be capable of moving your body like your mind wants and be able to perform techniques as they should be performed. And still you'd struggle as you'd be performing all the wrong techniques or the right techniques at the wrong time. In an ideal world, there is a sync between knowledge and technique where we know what to do and when to do it and understand all the variables in any given situation. And we are capable of performing and executing flawlessly at the right time during a stressful live situation. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to get that deep in where you... I don't want to say the Gordon Ryan level, right? Because he's clearly a cut above everybody else, right?
Yeah, double gold at ADCC would probably be evidence of that.
Yeah, so... You can agree or disagree with his antics or his attitude or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about that right now, just based on his skill and ability and how he does things. Holy
fucking good, dude.
Shit.
He took out Paul Harris, too.
Yeah. So I can't discern matches.
Can I get something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nice tangent. I watched a few of the matches from the World Jiu-Jitsu Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how sad that was?
I didn't see any of it.
Oh, well, if you look at it, you would think, if you heard World Jiu-Jitsu Festival, Paul Harris and Ryan is the headliner.
Okay.
Okay. Where would you think that would be held?
Somewhere in California.
Well,
maybe Vegas.
Not there. I'm like an arena, a park.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Where would you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just guess. A gymnasium.
DeVos Hall.
A fucking gymnasium.
Really?
Yeah, the fucking basketball hoops are all tilted up. And I'm like, what the fuck? They had minimal bleachers around.
No kidding?
Yeah, Flow Grappling covered it, so you can see a lot of it. But it's
Was it dead in there?
Yeah, there weren't many people, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising me, because jiu-jitsu's blowing up and getting huge. So the
Yeah.
fact that Gordon Ryan goes anywhere with...
Out a billion people, but not a billion, but a lot of people following him. Yeah, I was just really surprised. I don't know if the pictures I saw... No, because I saw him during matches, too. And it was kind of... Yeah, I don't know. Gary Tonin had a fucking wicked flying...
Oh, I did see that. That was on...
Holy shit.
Somebody Instagrammed that. I went, Jesus, dude. Like, that's pretty phenomenal.
It's fast. That's that shit you see on Instagram working.
Hey, what do you think about Gordon Ryan beating up Gary Tonin? Because that was his coach.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
oh. It's a little awkward. Damn student-teacher bullshit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it happens. I guess that's what every good coach wants their students to be better. Yeah, exactly. So
but
it can't be.
I just want to bring that up that it was shocking how few people were actually there in the bleacher and the amount of bleachers that there were.
Huh?
I'm just like, this is weird. World Jiu-Jitsu Festival. Just thought it would be bigger.
Yeah, I guess I would too.
I guess it was an online presence, probably more than streaming. More than that.
Speaking of that, sorry, another tangent. Have you heard of the Shugyo?
No.
Basically, it's invitation only, and you get some of the most exciting grapplers in the world, say. And there's like no crowds, no nothing. It's just good videography.
Oh, no. Yeah, I did see a thing on this.
Yeah, no time limit. Mm-hmm. And you just go till it goes. And then they can edit.
Yeah.
Like they can edit parts of it that are fun or show the whole match, so that on YouTube they'll put the whole match, and then if you wanted to just see the highlights of the matches, and really kind of cool. Yeah.
Very neat.
Yeah,
I
neat
did see a thing
idea.
on that. I like the idea.
Yeah, I'd like to know other people's opinion on that. I hate
Bastardizing the sport a little bit, if you think about it. Like, let me just compact everything that's good, even though all of it's good if you know what you're watching. Do you see what I'm saying there?
Well, no, they show the whole thing.
I'm
but-
just saying
So
they
for the-
have a dumbed down version.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a simplified version, which is cool.
Well, the thing is you could have like a fight that goes 3 hours long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, not everybody has 3 hours to...
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That being said...
I'm just saying something someone would say.
Did you know that Kroyler watched every single match of ADCC?
Yeah, that's what he said he was going to do.
Holy crap.
I don't have
I
that
just-
kind of time.
Just damn. That's impressive.
It is.
That's impressive.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Moving your body like your mind wants to be able to perform techniques as they should be performed, and you'd still struggle as you'd be performing all the wrong techniques or the right techniques at the wrong time. In an ideal world, there is a sync between knowledge and technique. Did I read all this shit?
Yep.
I did.
Actually, I think you did.
Okay. E, physical health. This one is pretty
Yeah. I
straight.
suck at this one.
Yeah, you're failing the physical health portion
I
of
am.
this test. This one is pretty straightforward. If you are sick or have injuries, kip. Or are out of shape, kip. Quality of sleep, also kip. Recovery, still kip. All of these factors will affect performance, as while your mind, knowledge, and experience may be sharp, still not kip, your body may be hindered in its ability to perform technique, ultimately affecting your success under live situations.
I just have a
Or
good excuse for
ability.
sucking.
You do.
Yay!
You actually have all of these
Yes.
excuses, oddly enough.
Perfect.
That's weird.
Just what I needed.
I have at least half of them too, so I mean,
Yeah, you
I'd
do.
love to talk my shit, but
You
we
can-
both know
We're
that.
both broke as
yeah.
fuck.
Boo.
Boo.
So the physical health thing it's a big deal, right? The recovery aspect, I don't think people give enough credit to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They when they're new, they overtrain because they don't know any better.
Yep.
If you don't have top level coaches and you don't do this for a living, you don't have people telling you how to ramp up and ramp down and supplement the cardio and the workouts or CrossFit or whatever you do it,
Yeah.
right? And with the diet, the sleep, all that kind of crap. You got to have it all in line
'Cause
if you want to perform well.
If
Yeah.
you don't, you're not going to recover.
Here's the thing, your competition is, so if you and your competition are both spending 12 hours a week in the gym
Yep.
training jiu-jitsu, but he has got all the recovery stuff going on and the diet stuff going on and the working outs and being able to
So his
ramp
health
up and down
is
properly.
in
Yeah.
the right place.
You're going to be in a world of hurt. So
Fuck
if
yeah.
you want to compete at a world level, you got to have everything on lockdown.
Yep.
So, or at least try. A lot of people don't give a shit. Like you got to give a shit nowadays.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game. The game evolves. It gets better.
To be fair, you should anyway about the physical health. Like, I know it's a stupid analogy that's overused, but if you had a Ferrari, you really take care of it, right? But nobody does that with their body. They're like, it'll be fine. You know, they just keep on eating their ho-hos and drinking their Mountain Dew. Kip.
I don't drink Mountain Dew.
What is that?
I'm drinking Monster. Totally better. No? This is actually like Gatorade with crack in it. That's what this is.
They probably like crush up Adderall and just sprinkle it.
Good. Focus so good right now.
I mean, it works, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, mind your physical health. Like, do whatever you can to up that level of your game. Do a little stretching. Wake up a little earlier. Go to bed a little earlier. Find those little moments of time when you can do something. One of my first coaches said that he'd still watch TV and do family time, but every commercial break, he would do some kind of mobility drill or like a shrimp drill or some kind of jiu-jitsu related drill on the floor. You got time. You're not doing any of that stuff.
No.
Kip gives zero fucks.
No.
Wonders why he's hurt all the time. I don't know why I can't heal. Drinking Monster, eating ho-hos. My body just doesn't heal.
Ho-hos are disgusting. Okay?
I mean, you eat them though, right?
No.
Sure you do.
No.
Mental health. Oh, man, it gets worse for us.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Yeah. Ugh.
Nothing.
Also pretty straightforward. When we aren't in a good state of mind, depression or anxiety or whatever detrimental flaw you want to think about, our thoughts don't fire quickly. Everything is a little delayed and a little slower. Confidence in our knowledge weans. Every failed attempt goes from an opportunity for a better chained attack or Too simply, another loss that we feel shows how good the opponent is. It's like trying to pick up a date when you think you're unattractive, broke, unsuccessful, and you simply are a waste of space.
Damn.
Just went dark, Kroyler. Jesus. It simply doesn't work. Mental health allows for not only fast thought process, but confidence in it, which sometimes makes all the difference. There's two problems with jiu-jitsu people. One is they think they're better than they are, or two, they think they're worse than they are. And they just go down that rabbit hole, that spiral of bullshit.
Neither one is good.
Neither one is good.
I'm definitely the latter.
I would rather people be the latter just because I'm not a huge fan of arrogance, especially when you think you're better than you actually are. Like, Gordon Ryan's one thing. He's arrogant, but he at least backs it up. Like, you got to respect that. Whatever, I'm cool. But when you talk that amount of shit, but you're not good?
Yeah, fuck off.
On. Yeah. So, but for this case, he's actually talking about the opposite. Like, if you're always a sad sack because you think you're never good enough,
your brain's going to be slow.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
We had a podcast a while back about Stop Saying You Suck, is I think the title.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, maybe be a little kinder to yourself.
Yeah, not too kind.
Look for opportunities of growth and improvement, but appreciate how far you've come and what you've learned. Try to focus on the goals that you're achieving. Look for the small wins. Change your focus. Change your perspective. We talked about that too.
Yep.
Make sure you have the proper perspective in this. Not easy to do. It's one of the hardest things to do in jiu-jitsu. Like, even if you know the information, like we've talked about it multiple times on the show, and we'll continue to talk about it because there's a lot of different angles you can come from, right? Yeah. As a matter of fact, next week I want to talk about the hedonic treadmill of jiu-jitsu.
Please come up with a better name.
I know it's good.
People don't know what the fuck that is.
You don't know, but everybody else does.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Say it to my wife. She's smarter than me.
She'll know.
She won't.
Yes, she will.
She will not.
The dads at grapplingdads.com. Let us know that you actually do, in fact, know what the hedonic treadmill is. Everybody knows. It's common knowledge. If I know it, everybody knows it.
I don't know it.
I just told you that, and you said yes.
Right there, your statement is wrong. The only reason I know is because you told me.
See, you know it, though. It's common.
I didn't.
Or Flick Chat app. Get on that. Get on that.
Hey, we went over 200, by the way.
We did. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Didn't stop either.
I'm calling it the hedonic treadmill because it's awesome. Anyway, it's a big thing in jiu-jitsu, right? So people either
have access. This is going to be bad.
People either always think they suck and they're not getting better and they're plateauing all the time, or even if they're getting good, like you go through the ranks. Me as an example, just got my purple belt and I'm still thinking, God, I should be so much better. I'm not happy with my current level of performance. I had some good rolls last night, but after the rolls, my mind goes to what I could have done better and why didn't I do the right things. My mind doesn't go, hey, I did this and this and this right. It immediately goes to I did this, this, and this wrong. So it's a brain thing, right? It's almost like how we're wired, and we have to cross the wires to fix that.
Well, I think you need some of that, though. You need to be somewhat self-critical to improve, because if you don't see your flaws, you're not going to improve on them.
100% agree. I love disagreeing with you because it's more fun that way.
It is.
But that's right. But a balance would be nice.
Yeah, it's hard to do, though.
So hard to find that
really
balance.
Hard.
So that's
because like you said, the last thing I want to do is come across as having an ego to it, because I really don't. I don't give a fuck who beats me. Like, it really don't. Well, if I don't like you.
Right.
If I don't like you, then it's a little different.
Yeah.
But my wife can kick my ass. I don't care. Amanda can kick my ass.
Austin kicks my ass. I'm going to throw a fit.
I will punch him square in the throat.
Austin, no.
But like Larry can kick my ass. I don't care any of these people. Jesse, I guess I'll let him kick my ass. Fucking samurai.
It's almost like we have a choice in that matter.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah, some people are just like, whatever.
Yeah, he's my boy. Fuck him though. He doesn't listen.
Come on, Jess. You got one job.
But
listen to the Grappling Dads.
But even I go too far to the extreme of just being negative. So I don't mean to, but I definitely want to err on that side rather than be on the other side.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Now, people are wired how they're wired. They got the, whatever. Some people, I think, use it as a crutch for sure.
Yeah.
But I think most people, that's how their brains are crossed.
True.
Yeah, whatever. Sucks. All right, mental health, which makes all that different. Okay, mental clarity. We're going to get into this. This is different from mental health in it that you could have a very healthy mental state and yet have a clouded mind. Mushin, the state of no mind, in the zone, runner's high, etc., is an important thing to achieve because it is easy to get distracted by life during a live situation, self-defense, or sport. Example, if you are thinking of everyone watching you or disappointing your teammates or how silly you look or what if you lose or what if I hurt them or what do I do after this event, etc., you will lose focus. And that has nothing to do with mental health. Well, there you go. This means while you can have a perfectly operational mind, it can be overloaded with distractions, much like a computer can be bogged down by many open applications, and this has nothing to do with computer virus. So yeah, kind of like you have every single window open and you're focused on too many things, you're not in the zone. I get that. So getting in the zone is a big reason I do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Because I got a lot on my mind. I have a lot of anxieties about a lot of things. So when I go to jiu-jitsu, it's nice to be able to train with individuals that can put me in that zone. Yeah. A big help it was a pleasant side effect of training for my purple belt.
You couldn't think about anything else.
I couldn't think about anything else. I was so laser focused on making sure I didn't look stupid, and I wanted to do a good job, and
which you did,
and I wanted this all to come together, and I wanted it to be a great test. I wanted to be proud of myself after I was done. So when I
wouldn't go that far.
So when I was training on Sundays, I got more and more laser focused, and even though it was just training, right, I'm just going through sequences of moves over and over and over again and getting them locked down and doing the technique portion of what jiu-jitsu is. Yep. It was that mushin, it was that zone, and it took me out of everything else. So that's kind of
nice.
It was really nice. So if you can't get into that, it's a lot harder to get ahead, because as soon as I started getting in that frame of mind, things started to click, and I'm like, oh, the last, I'd say 6 weeks, it started to click, and I started getting in that zone, and everything came together so much faster and so much better than they had
for sure.
if I allowed myself to get into that. So,
but the only way you probably got to that was with your confidence within the moves that you were training on. So I think when you're less confident in what you're learning, it's going to be hard to get into the zone because you're concentrating just trying to figure out how the hell to do it. The more and more you get it, the more and more it's going to be able to get into that zone. I think that's all part of this. When you're going to compete, it makes sense that the more and more you do it, the more clarity you're going to have when you have to go.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Pressure.
Yeah, getting into the zone is kind of like once I had enough competence to do the moves, and I can refine to a better degree the moves. And when I'm using them in live rolling, or when I'm live rolling, getting into the zone, when you have skill sets and moves that you can do, techniques that you can do. When I first started it and I'm learning them, there's no zone. There was just struggle. And it was hard for a lot of months.
Which makes sense.
But I do appreciate the fact that I can understand what the zone is, I guess. And it was really nice to have. So if you can have that mental clarity to get into that, or teach yourself how to get into that, or give yourself the opportunity, then you'll do a lot better. Especially if you want to compete at a high level.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mental fortitude. This goes hand in hand with clarity and mental health, but it differs slightly as there is more on the ability to maintain a good mental health and a good mental clarity for extended periods of time, and more importantly, to maintain it under stressful life situations. This is what I refer to as the "fuck you" mentality. I like it. I like it. I'm on board. It's important to have it because at times the difference between being successful in a live situation and not is simply having that "fuck you" mentality. Roger Gracie has never been submitted. However, that doesn't mean he didn't get caught. It means he not only had the right knowledge, experience, technique, ability, physical and mental health, and clarity, but also the fortitude, fuck you mentality, to endure and survive. A particular example comes to mind. Roger fought Tedede once. Tedede, in my opinion, was one of the, if not the, most talented jiu-jitsu fighters ever. But he succumbed to drugs and it ruined him.
Oh.
That was sad. I read the story about him.
Did
He's
you?
actually
I
he got
never
out
read
of
anything about him.
I think he's out of it now, like he's back in the game, but it screwed up his life, and he was like everybody's favorite. Like, people loved him because he was so excited. Watch his matches.
I'll have to look him up.
He's the only cat that beat Marcelo Garcia every time they fought.
No shit.
Yo, dude, he's a bad motherfucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look him up.
Oh yeah, you'll love him. Yeah, super. Like I said, super fun to watch.
Sweet.
Yeah, right up your alley. All right. But he succumbed to drugs. Yeah. Alas, that is a story for another time. But in that match, it's on YouTube. Look it up. Tedede sinks in a perfect triangle on Hajar. I'm going to say Hajar and Roger both. So just so you know, I'm going to go back and forth.
Can't be wrong if I use both.
I'm going to make everybody happy. Hajar cannot escape. Tedede had the experience that Craig Jones lacked to know that Roger would go to sleep long before tapping to a choke, and that the much larger Roger would use his weight to crush his way out of the triangle. So Tedede added an armbar to the mix. So now, not only is he choking Roger, he's also attacking a fully extended arm with an armbar. Roger got out. He was able to add the fuck you attitude to all the aforementioned principles, and that made the difference, as that alone caused Tedede to doubt himself ever so slightly, allowing for a very marginal difference in ability, which is all it took for him to escape.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
But it makes sense. It was a really good example.
Yep. So that's the difference between, like, you can be a world champion, right? You can be a multiple-time world champion, but if you want to be the GOAT, that's what you got to do. You have to have that fuck you mentality.
That's crazy.
You have to
mental and physical fortitude to get through.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I have no words for what it would take to be that guy.
I have no clue.
I'm not that guy.
No.
Yeah, I'm not good at any of this stuff. As a matter of fact,
no,
I'm still getting through it, learning. Yeah, I'm not the worst at it in the world, but certainly.
Hey, you're better than me. So
Cool.
that's not saying a lot, but you're definitely better than me.
Especially the physical right now, which is weird. You just flip-flop that whole thing. Oh, well.
Stop bringing it up.
You'll get better. You will.
Yeah.
Just rub dirt on it. Walk it off. Intensity. This is tough to describe because everyone has different personalities and it shows during rolling. Intensity is needed in live situations. Those that are shy aren't as intense as people that get hyped up. However, intensity is only a real requirement to an extent, that being the goal at hand. You look at guys like Zanji Hibiro or Ryan Hall, who have very little explosive intensity in their games until it's time to pull the trigger, versus guys like Ali, who are very explosive in the entire match. Yeah, those guys are nuts.
Yeah,
I don't know how
you do that.
Yeah, you got to be like the uber athlete. Like,
yeah, I can't do that.
My point being, the only time where being less intense is an issue is not knowing or being incapable of turning it on when needed. Guys that are intense through the entire match don't have to worry about turning it on because they are always on, which is why people train that way. But there are plenty of examples out there, I'd wager an equal number of examples, that are only intense when it's time or when it's needed, and it doesn't necessarily hurt their performance any. Guys like Ryan Hall are incredibly unassuming and lack intensity. Yeah, you would never assume that Eddie or Ryan Hall could do anything. Ever.
No.
At all. Like, his spirit animal, gotta be a sloth.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Man. But he'll roll into your fucking legs, man.
Dude,
holy shit.
He's fun to watch.
He is super fun to watch.
Yeah. But when it comes time to exercise their knowledge and experience to put it to use through technique, their ability shines through, and they are just as intense in that moment as anyone else. Again, to clarify, lower intensity levels are just a problem if you are incapable of turning it on when it matters and when it counts. I might have that problem. I like to do that slothy old man roll all the time. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
So at the times where I probably could use a little bit of explosive energy, I miss it.
Not there.
Yeah. What are you going to do? I'll work on it.
What's jiu-jitsu? I'm just forgetting at this point. It's been so long.
You got back for a minute. You were fine.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
You did well. Actually, you when we rolled, it was fun.
Yeah,
like I could tell you were herky jerky, you were off. But it was a long enough roll where you started to calm down and you got in a groove. And yeah, you were going to be all right.
Yeah, I was, fuck.
Just saying, it wasn't so bad. All right. 3. So back to the original question. Is there any truth to you fight like you train? Answer, yes, there is. If you train without acquiring proper knowledge, or if you aren't obtaining experience in training, or you aren't improving proper technique. Moreover, if your training isn't allowing you to expand your mind-body connection and increasing your ability over time. Likewise, if your training isn't taking into account your physical and or mental health, equally if your training isn't addressing your mental clarity and fortitude or your ability to turn it on when needed, then yes, your training will negatively affect your performance. Therefore, your training has a direct impact with your performance. But the answer is also no. This is because the adage, you fight like you train, has been poorly and inaccurately romanticized. Anyone that says that is usually implying that if you don't train an absurd amount or if you aren't destroying your body with outrageous training regimens, that you are somehow going to underperform. And that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's when you first told me this topic, that was the first thing I thought is people just think you're a badass.
Yep.
Like fight like train.
Yep. I forgot what MMA camp did that, but every fight camp, every training, they were trying to knock each other out.
Yes.
They were acting like it was a live cage match every time. And
their guys kept missing fights.
Yeah.
Just getting hurt, and when they never fought anywhere near healthy.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah. When that saying is spoken, it is generally to imply that one must lift 3 times a day, cardio 3 times a day, train 8 hours a day, sleep and eat just enough to function, and then go train. That training must be war every day. ADCC finals or Mundials finals as if your life was on the line. That injuries and illnesses should be ignored and that you should toughen up and train past that. That the only way to improve is to hurt every day after every round or after every practice. This is simply not true. This leads to a large number of injuries and a short career.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's even in high school sports, I hear this a lot because I work with a lot of guys that their kids are in soccer, football, whatever. And they brag about destroying these kids.
Yeah.
They don't ever brag about like the technical aspect of it, watching video, learning when to throw to first base as opposed to third. No, it's just about we made them run so many laps they were puking.
Yeah,
and they're
awesome.
And you can't say nothing to them because they already know better. Like,
well, yeah, they think that's the only way to do it.
Well, yeah, that's how I got raised, and that's what I'm going to do. Like, there's better ways.
A lot better ways.
All right. There's a time and a place when you need to push past injuries and illnesses in order to perform, where you need to buck up and step up. However, training shouldn't be that place. Gordon Ryan broke his knee earlier in the year mid-match. He walked to his corner in the break, and they asked him if he could win the match with 3 minutes or so left and a bum leg. He said, yes, I can. He bucked up and toughed his way through it. He needed to do that. It literally is his livelihood.
Yep.
It's how he puts food on his table. However, post the match, you didn't see any footage of him killing himself in training with the bum knee up until he got cleared by his doctor and extensive rounds of physical therapy. His first competition was a competition where he competed against lesser opponents to test the water, and he himself admitted that if he had to lose, it would be okay, but that they weren't good enough to do anything anyways. Training time should be exactly for that: training, improvement, and growth. Not to over-romanticize shitty sayings, and to you that saying to excuse your horrible personal choices or shitty coaching. That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely think there's a time and a place to ramp it up, to do the 100% rolls.
If that's what you want to do.
Yep. But I think if you're doing that at every single practice, you're doing yourself and your training partners a disservice.
That's why newbies get hurt so often.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a baseline, so they think that's what you do. Because, like we've talked many times in this sport, you end up looking like we're trying to kill each other. Like, we're not. Especially, me and Paul probably are. A little different.
We hate each other, though. Yeah. There's vitriol there.
Yeah, it's a thing. But, it does. From the outside looking in, looks like it's a fight. Once you get involved in it, it's not. For the most part, it's not. But you have to be in it a while to understand it's not a fight.
Yep.
So you're going at it hard every single time. And you can call them out. We've done it at our gym. We're like, that dude's going to get hurt. She's going to get hurt.
Yeah, it's easy to see now. Yeah.
And they do. Every time. I don't think we've been wrong yet.
Yeah, the longer I train, the less injured I get because of that understanding.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we joke around a lot about how much we suck on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and we do to an extent, right? It's all relative.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting the idea that, hey, if I train a certain way, it's going to be either detrimental or helpful.
Yeah.
So the more I learn, the more I can turn it up.
Yeah.
Because I know how to keep safe. Like, I know what the moves I'm doing are going to do. I know what they're doing to me. Like, I have that experience level now.
Yes.
And it helps a lot. So when you're brand new and you turn it up to 100, like, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. You don't know how to base out. You don't know so many things to protect yourself.
Yeah. Your hand is like this way when you're getting oompa and you're going to wrist lock and break your own wrist. Yeah. So
you just don't know.
So that's why you need to take things slow at first, the first, I'd say, year at least.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Try to relax as much as you can.
Well, it wasn't an argument. A new guy signed up, and he's like, well, I know I'm going to get beat up. I know I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm just going to try to survive. I'm like,
no.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and on the surface, it sounds like a good plan, right? Just trying to survive. But by trying to survive, you're fighting as hard as you can not to have them tap you out.
Why? It's going to happen.
I appreciate the attitude of, I know I'm going to lose, and that comes with humility, and I understand that. But it shouldn't have to be, I'm just training to survive, and I know I'm going to get my ass kicked.
That's not fun.
Right. It should.
Not fun.
It should be, I'm training to learn, and we're going to take things slow until I understand what I'm doing, and we can go at 50%.
Yeah.
And he can let me do whatever I learned in class to him or her, and we can go back and forth until I have a better understanding, and we can kind of turn it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
That should be how it goes. And then once you get to a certain level, let's say a black belt level, like, Chad and Justin can go at a much higher level than me and Ben can. They're at a higher level, right?
Yes.
So it is what it is. Dr. Howe and Kroyler can go balls to the wall, and they can look like they're murdering each other, but there's no chance in hell that they're going to get hurt. Yeah.
No, it's just not a thing. Well, and you get comfortable. Like, I know I knew how to protect my neck, which was narrowing my learning scope. I could feel that already in the few weeks I was back. I'm like, I can only, if I'm rolling, I can really only do this because this is where I'm comfortable. This is where I know if I do this is how they'll react. If I do it wrong, I still know how they're going to react. Or if I miss it, whatever, they defend it well. Like, I knew all those things. So the only problem was I knew I wasn't going to get a lot better at anything but what I'm already comfortable with. So it kind of sucked for me, but it's going back to what you said. It's at least I knew enough to do that and still make it enjoyable for the other person and for me until I get healthy enough that I can start going back to going, okay, I need to go from this to this. I have no clue what's going to fucking happen.
Right.
I may get crushed. Let's go.
Happens.
Yeah, so it comes with time and mental clarity.
And fortitude. Wait, no, that's not the right one. I'm getting them confused.
I don't know. I lost it.
I'm fond of them.
I'm so confused.
No, that all makes sense though.
It does. I'll give him credit.
I mean, to your point too, like with my knees, like I understand what I can and can't do and where I got to be safe. I was rolling with John. We got a new purple belt.
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah, nice guy. And I'm doing stuff to him with his legs, and they're just like bending up like a pretzel, and it's just not affecting him at all. But if he'd tried that same thing to me,
done.
Oh yeah, I'm ruined for life. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you just have to learn how to deal with your own injuries and kind of roll around things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, if that's you, just roll around things, learn, but take it slow. Like I didn't learn it overnight. Like how many times did my meniscus rip before I figured out that I probably shouldn't use that pass or that that guard sweep or whatever. So yeah,
how many times did I get freaking corkscrew fucking can opener because I literally let them get close enough to grab my neck? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, oh well, that was stupid.
Yes. Certain positions open up opportunities for white belts to do things that they shouldn't do to you.
Yes.
You know?
But it's pretty much your fault because I kept putting myself in that position. I'm like, why does this keep... Oh, it's my fault. Fuck.
Yep.
What
And
do we do now?
Yeah. And like I tell my children, hey, even if it's not a move and it hurts, tap out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that
I've tapped some goofy shit where I'm like, this just hurts my nose.
Yeah.
Fucking done.
Yeah, I got put in the world's worst darts joke. I mean, it was hurting my neck, so I just tapped out.
Yeah.
And they're like, why did you tap? I'm like, because I want to be able to do head checks tomorrow on the way to work.
Yeah,
you know.
I had somebody try to guillotine me, and they guillotined my mouth. I'm just like, this is uncomfortable as fuck. I just tapped. Like, did I have it? No.
Yeah, sure.
No, like it was like a good enough friend of mine. Like the gym, I looked at him. No. He's like, why'd you tap?
Still
you
hurt?
had my freaking face.
Were you going for a choke, or were you trying to like push my lips through my teeth?
Because both suck, and I don't care. I tapped, but you win. But it's just like I do that for anything with my ears. Like I refuse to get cauliflower.
Oh yeah,
that shit is not happening.
Have you got it at all?
No, not a bit.
I got a little bit. I got that. You seen it?
Yeah,
like it was like puffy
bump.
and hot.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Oh, like every time I'd roll on it in my bed, I'd wake right up and like, oh, that sucks. I don't want to do that.
I refuse to let that happen. So I've tapped to so many ear bends.
Oh yeah,
it's like oh,
you get folded over.
Yeah, you fold it over. Normally, and you can get out. Like it's part of like you're halfway out. If your ear's folded over, it's probably not that far where it's supposed to be, and like a guillotine or something. So you can pull out. But in my world, I can't. Either I'll just sit there for a while, and I won't move. I'm just waiting for them to stop.
Yeah, I'm not ripping on it though. I'm with you.
Yeah, I just sit there. I'm like, all right. And if they're just gonna sit there because they think they have it, I'll just tap.
Yep.
After a while, I'm just like, go ahead. I'm not fucking my ears up for you.
Yeah. That hurts, man.
Fuck yeah.
You see the people online that are like giving themselves cauliflower ear because they want to be part of the cool guys club. What the hell is wrong with people?
I saw a video, dude. They were assaulting their own ears, just smashing each other's ears. It was like a group of 4 of them, all taking turns fucking each other's ears up.
It was devastating to watch.
I was like, why are you doing this? And the only smart person was the camera holder.
Yeah,
he just stood
laughing
there.
like, I'll tape this. I'm gonna throw this up on YouTube.
This is really what you guys are gonna do.
Yeah, this is how you want to get cauliflower ear. You're not even gonna earn it the right way, like.
And it's so easy to get. Like I've been in many times. I've tapped to my ear being folded over or being crushed against the side of my head. I'm like, I don't give a shit because I know how to get out. I could just pull my head out. But guess what? Not at the sake of my ear.
No,
love that ear.
Yeah, hard no.
Yeah, hard pass. Not gonna happen. Take a tip from me. Yeah. Save your ears.
Save your ears. Yeah,
I don't care what anyone tells you. Cauliflower ear is not sexy.
Not a good look.
It's called cauliflower ear. Did you look at cauliflower and go, man, that looks good?
So hot.
You do not.
It does one thing, though. Like, if I'm at a bar and a guy has cauliflower ear, guess who I'm not screwing with?
I'm not fucking with that.
No. That's a hard pass.
Because he's at least a wrestler.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun fight.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you don't know exactly what he knows, but he knows something.
He knows something. He knows enough.
It's a good indicator of whether you want to like push the boundaries or not, for sure.
Yeah, like, hey, what's up, bro? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look. Yeah, your ear's fucked up. Have a nice night.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sorry, sir. You know what? You're right. Let me buy you a drink. What's it gonna take to get me out this door without getting hit?
We're such bitches. Just pussies. That's what we do.
I'm not trying to fight anybody.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck no. Hell no.
Oh, hey, before we wrap up the show.
Well, we have those emails you want to read.
We have those emails.
Okay.
And the story I told you I thought was funny. I want to say it on I went to my parents' house. My mom was telling me that she talked to her sister. This is funny. So my cousin was on the job site working wherever he works, and he was talking to a guy, and this guy was saying that he's into jiu-jitsu, and he's listening to this podcast he really likes called Grappling Dads. So he goes and he tells his mom, like, yeah, my buddy was telling me about this podcast, Grappling Dads, and he had no idea that it was our.
That it was Paul.
So my cousin had no idea that his friend's listening to his cousin talk over the airwaves.
It's so weird.
I know, but it kind of made me feel like I've arrived. Like some dude in Fremont listening to the Grappling Dads telling you what turned out to be the guy's cousin.
That's fucking hilarious.
Has no idea that it's his cousin on the show.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's great.
That was a good story.
I tried to get the guy's name. I was going to give him a shout out, but you should know who you are. You live in Fremont, Michigan, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't know how many listeners we have in Fremont.
So, Michigan. Hey, bro, thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good looking out.
What up? Almost related.
Yeah, now you're now my cousin would be like, "Oh yeah, he's such a shithead." Like you shouldn't
should stop
listen.
listening now.
Yeah, there's better shows, bro. Have you heard of Jocko? Huh? Have you heard of him?
It's not a jiu-jitsu podcast. Damn it.
But yet it ranks the top jiu-jitsu
Every
podcast out
time.
there. Maddening.
Rogan's closer.
Yeah.
Seriously. Come on now.
It's frustrating. I hate it. But anyway, I thought that was a funny story.
Yeah, it's a good
She's
story.
like, that's Paul, right? Like, no.
No, and makes me want to punch him.
Yeah, Jesus. God. But Paul's a dork.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
do.
it's fair enough. All right, so a couple emails I wanted to read on the show. If I can find them. Nope, not FlickChat. Gmail. There we go.
There you go, buddy.
All right, we got one from, we got another one. Cool. Grappling Mom, which I thought was kind of cool.
Okay.
You helped turn me into a grappling mom.
Boom.
Awesome. That's
Spread
so
the
cool.
disease.
I started my two little guys in jiu-jitsu recently after observing 2 classes. I had to try it myself as well as try what I can to keep my boys interested in jiu-jitsu.
I love this woman already.
This is awesome. Then I found your podcast and found you guys to be so relatable. That's kind of weird.
That's our thing.
you guys are super funny and down to earth. I don't know about the last part. And this last podcast about balancing family and hobbies is on point. Well done.
Oh, I forgot that was one of the ones that we did about this. Yeah.
As a working mom, I thankfully found a morning class that works perfectly with our family. I've been going just over a month now, and I love jiu-jitsu. I'm having so much fun, even though I'm the only female. The guys are very gentle and
Good
welcoming.
for her, though.
Good. You found a good gym.
Yeah, and that's hard to do.
You know what's frustrating is I got a lot of the Jiu-Jitsu Times, BJJE, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them show up in my newsfeed, and a lot of them have like creeper stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh my God, there's so many of them.
Damn it. So it's frustrating because
we need to talk about that. Reason being is there were some really bad ones on my wife's part of the Women's Grappling Network on Facebook, and there's some horrible stories on there, dude. And it's something that we need to approach just because I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's the worst thing ever. Like, this is something that I'm a firm believer that everybody should, but especially women, children. Like,
oh, you mean smaller, naturally smaller people?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
then you're gonna,
seems like who it was made for.
Then you're gonna treat them like that. Don't.
What the fuck's your problem?
Don't be that guy. Stop.
Don't be a fucking creeper,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. All right. So anyway, this lady found a great gym. Good for you. I'm proud of you. All right. Congrats to Paul for getting his purple belt. Thank you. I hope to be where you are someday. It's not that hard. If I can do it, you can. Trust me, lady.
In way less time.
Yeah. If you don't do all the things that I did that I talk about on this show, you'll get there so much faster and better.
If you follow the advice from the show, you'll be so much better than Paul.
I am a case study for how not to train jiu-jitsu for so many years. Thank you so much for creating this podcast, and I look forward to your next episode. Thank you. Yeah, episode. So thank you. That was awesome. It means a lot.
Hell yeah, we love it.
Yep,
we picked it out. We picked that email out because we liked it.
Next one is from Christopher. Hello, dads. It is weird how often you discover things at the exact time you need them in your life. I just discovered your podcast last week with some much-needed advice and like-minded ideas of jiu-jitsu. That being said, I am so frustrated at my jiu-jitsu I wanted to burst into tears of anger after rolling the other evening. I am a white belt. I've been going mostly consistently for the last year, rocky attendance, and the year before that, all told about 2 years. I feel like I cannot retain any information and just get worse every week. I enjoy your belt expectations and the fear of belting up podcast. I have had one professor mention me promoting me to a blue belt, and I thought that I am nowhere near a blue belt. Still don't, but your podcast made me feel better. I am in catch-up mode on the podcast and enjoying all of them. All of them? I am a dad. You'll run into a couple.
You're far enough back, man.
Yes. I am a dad. I love how you mentioned how old you are. But I got the age on you, boys, starting BJJ at 47 and a half.
Nice.
Good on you, bro.
Hell yeah.
Thanks again for the podcast and your honest points of view of BJJ. The best, Chris. So.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. So, here's the thing about becoming a blue belt. It is both a really, really big deal, and it don't mean shit all at the same time.
You're still a beginner.
So you should
cool.
You should be very proud that you are a blue belt or becoming a blue belt, and If your coach thinks you're there, you need to trust your coach. If you trust him enough to go to his class every week and learn from him every week, and you're putting a lot of trust in him already. So don't think that you know better than him, because you don't. So if he thinks you're a blue belt, you are. Accept it, be grateful, and enjoy it.
And remember, like I said, it's a beginner belt still. So it's a big deal, but it's not.
Yeah, dude, blue belts still suck, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just found out that purple belts still suck too.
Amazing.
So don't let it get to you. You don't have to be some fucking jiu-jitsu god to get a blue belt or a purple belt. And hell, even a black belt. No, it's a process, and you just keep on adding more. And I realize, and I understand when you say you think you're getting worse. You are, in fact, not.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Unless you're Austin.
There it is. So it's okay to feel frustrated. It's perfectly natural. I feel that way up to this day. I've been doing this over 10 years now, and I still feel frustrated at my jiu-jitsu. And like we talked about earlier, everybody feels it. It's part of the process. Try to look at how far you've come.
Yes.
Paul Elliott said something really cool, that if you're a 47-and-a-half-year-old blue belt, don't compare yourself to the 23-year-old blue belt.
Yes.
It's asinine. And you would tell somebody else the same thing. Like, hey, don't compare yourself to that guy. But because it's you, it's different.
Yeah.
Because it's me, it's different. Like,
it's always different when it's
always
yourself.
Different. I talked about this with Amanda, a good friend of ours at the gym. Like, I told her the same stuff that she was dealing with that somebody already told me, but I had a hard time accepting it because it was me.
Yep.
So if you can just get that understanding of, I understand it's going to be hard to accept it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, realize you are getting better. You could beat your own ass from 2 years ago. Guaranteed, there's no doubt about it.
Yep.
So just because you're 47 and a half and you got these 23-year-olds that seem to be progressing so much faster.
Oh my God, they're so much better than me.
Realize how much more physicality and attributes that they have.
And they have to rely on.
Yeah, and they're relying on.
Trust me.
It's
a thing.
Trust me, bro. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Keep grinding. Don't give up. And enjoy your blue belt, man.
Unless this is Austin.
Yeah, and then
you just
well,
suck.
he's not 47.
Somehow you go back. He could have been lying.
He could have been lying. Yeah, he could just made it up, sent it in.
Yeah, he plays tennis like an old man. That's
true, man. But yeah, yeah, you're doing good, man. And thank you for the email. I really appreciate it. It was great.
Love her. Yeah, we picked those two out. We're being nice.
We
haven't done that in a while.
I thought they were nice. Yeah, we got a lot of work-life balance emails, Instagram messages, Facebook messages, a lot. Yeah.
Flick chat app. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2 in the future. Maybe we won't. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but
yeah, we will.
But I don't want to. Here. But I will.
I'll make it happen.
All right, that's all I got.
Flick chat.
Yep. Get on that. Join the community. It's been a lot of fun where you can kind of be talked to by the community as a whole. So we have a whole GD cult, a nice little family going on. It's wonderful. Bar none, everybody in this app has been cool. Like, everybody's been so much fun. And even if you're just there stalking and hanging out and listening, do that. It's great. I've learned a lot. I'm having a ball with it. So is Kip. I think everybody else is. So yeah, do that.
Flick chat app, check it out. It's on all the app stores. And one word, Grappling Dads, and you'll find the community, and we are there. Yep.
And for the love of God, go to YouTube and hit subscribe.
Just subscribe. I don't care if you ever watch the motherfucker. Okay, watch the motherfucker, actually. But
yeah, we want the watch time, so maybe just hit play, let it play out. Yeah.
Just at least subscribe. Help a brother out.
Exactly, please.
It's insulting how few of you do that. Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 1%. I know. Fuck.
Oh, and before I get too far, thank you to our patrons.
Oh, gosh.
You guys are wonderful.
Hey, Bully.
Yay.
Bully's on there.
Thank you.
I'm going to call his ass out. Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Bully did stuff.
I have no words for just how much that means to us. That
no, it really does. It's amazing.
It's incredible. And absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's going towards camera equipment constantly.
Yep.
Just letting you know.
We'll figure it out eventually. You know the GD time.
The time frame's very long with us.
We're getting ideas. We hey, now that I have all this free time,
I'll just bring the camera over to you.
I'll do that. Yeah, I got time now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, I am computer illiterate as they come. But if I have
Yeah,
enough
you can
time,
Google the fuck out of things, though.
I'll push enough buttons.
Oh,
We'll
hell
get
yeah.
we'll get her figured out.
Yeah, so I think, I'll bring that back over to you.
Perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Excellent. I'm excited.
Camera.
Hey,
what are you looking at?
don't we have this little thing that connects into our iPhone? So it goes into the lightning port. We used to have it connected here. Do you still have that piece? It's like a gray something.
Yes.
We could probably talk about this after the show.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing right now?
I'm ruining everything.
Just out of nowhere, you're like, hey, let's just have this casual conversation about pieces of the puzzle that we have.
My ADD kicked right in right there. It happens.
Did. Oh, but definitely check out all our sponsors. I know we do mostly pre-roll, but we got Top Mount Apparel, we got Gameness Geese, we have Tap Tape, we have Chad Pomeroy at Black Lion, and
Kroyler motherfucking Gracie.
Thank you again for the pro tip.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was very thorough.
Yes.
Very, very thorough. All right, I'm out.
I only napped twice.
Hit the button, Kip.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.